everyone, welcome to Pipes, Tobacco, and Whiskey. So today we are wrapping up our pressing experiment
Yeah.
by actually comparing the two forms of tobacco. What we did, if you haven't watched the earlier episodes, we took some Arango Balkan Supreme and we pressed it for about 2 weeks. Pressed about an ounce and a half of it. Okay, and now we've gotten through the pressings. We've waited a week for the pressed version to kind of rest a little bit, and now we're ready to try both and compare them. So what we're going to do is we're going to first try and go through our thoughts of the bulk blend, which is what is readily available.
Yep.
And then we will go through and talk about the pressed version and compare the two. So just a little bit of information to start off with. This is by Arango Balkan Supreme. It is a Balkan blend. It has Black Cavendish, Latakia, Oriental Turkishes, and Virginias. There are no flavorings. The cut is a mixture. They call a mixture, but it's predominantly ribbon cut.
Yeah.
It comes in bulk, made in Denmark. It's made by the Scandinavian Tobacco Group, and it is available at several different places. Strength on this is about a medium. Flavoring, there's none in there. The taste is also a little bit stronger than medium, I would say. Especially in the bulk version of what we're tasting. And then we'll talk about the rest of the things as we go along. So, let's start off with our tin note on this one.
Okay.
This was recommended to me by a lot of you out there, and also I see it pop up quite a bit on Facebook groups and things like that, and that's why I tried it. Why did I press it? Well, I pressed it because when I initially tried the bulk form, it just was really edgy.
Yeah.
It had a lot of times where I felt some stinging and some rough edges on it and things like that. And I thought maybe pressing it might kind of mellow that out. We'll see. But let's go ahead and talk about the bulk version right now. So, tin notes on the bulk version. Here, this is our bulk form right here. What do you think?
So it is unsweetened Cavendish, so you don't get a lot of this, the really Cavendish smell come through, that really sweet aromatic smell. I get a good deep smokiness from the Latakia. A little pepper from the Orientals. Virginia's coming through a little grassy, but mostly those scents. Now, the tin note alone makes it smell like it's not going to be that edgy of a blend, but it smokes way different.
Well, and we'll talk about that, but I do agree with you on that. So, me too, typical Balkan blend, lots of strong Latakia scents with smokiness and woody.
And some Oriental Turkish additives.
Yeah, the mustiness.
Like
and then I do get a little bit of a tangy and citrus hit from the Virginias on here. They're using definitely some bright Virginias on this, and you could see it in the blend as well. That there's some bright leaves in there. It smells like a full-bodied English.
Yeah.
There's a very mild hint of a sweetness in there. There's a leathery scent in there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Traditional Balkan smell, kind of.
Yeah. The term Balkan is so touch and go.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people have different opinions as to what really makes a Balkan.
A Balkan.
We'll get into that another time.
We don't have enough time here.
But it definitely is a full-bodied English scent to this. Okay, so let's go to the taste.
Taste-wise, I couldn't agree with you more. It's a lot edgier. It's really, I guess I can picture what you're saying when it's got a little sting to it.
Yeah. And a lot of earthiness.
Yeah.
There's a lot of earthiness in it. When I think of Balkan blends, I'm thinking of things like plum pudding. I'm thinking of Hearth and Home 10 to Midnight. I'm thinking of the Cup of Joe's Balkan blend that they put out, their anniversary cake. So those are the type of Balkans that I'm kind of referring all of this
And
to.
all those are deep flavors, very mature.
Yes, but they blend well
Yeah.
together. They're mellow.
Really
they're,
rich.
they just work really well together.
Yeah.
And this one just didn't seem. I don't know if it was a maturity thing, or if it's the type of tobaccos used or the ratios of tobaccos that they use. But it just didn't. It just wasn't something that I really enjoyed.
It's not as cohesive.
Yeah.
I think I can see what you're saying on it. Like each element shines and each element smokes. And you can taste each element, which sometimes is a very good thing. But for some of these smokes, I like the flavors to complement each other. I like them to work hand in hand. And this one, it's like, the Virginias are fighting a lot of Kias and they're fighting.
Yeah. I get that not necessarily fighting, but maybe arguing. There's kind of a lack of cohesiveness.
Yeah,
yeah. So in the tastes, I'm getting a lot of that woodiness and smokiness, mostly earthiness.
Yeah.
Slight grassiness from the Virginia, almost like a little bit of lemon in there as well. I noticed as it smokes down, it gets more toasty.
Yeah.
Gets a more toasty thing. There's not a whole lot of creaminess in it and not a whole lot of sweetness in it, which is things that I look forward to in my Balkans.
I do too.
As far as the room note goes with this one, to me, it's very typical of a full-bodied English.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
whatever you're
Tolerable to pleasant. Yeah.
Yeah. Moisture level on this, as we got when we got it, was a little bit on the dry side.
Yeah. It was ready to smoke, and I packed a full bowl of the bulk, and I've gone through it.
Yeah.
Keep trying to relight it, and it's done.
Yeah. Well, this gives us a good idea of what that bulk blend was like. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see how the.
Now, having said that, I don't dislike it. I think it is a good, solid flavor. I just think I'm really excited because I've tasted some of the cakes that we've made before.
Yeah.
And man, because one of them was the Scottish.
Yeah, the Scottish mixture.
Yeah.
McBaron.
Man, that one it changed it so much.
Well, and like I said, these are actually the same age of tobacco. This pressed was actually this. So the age of the tobacco is the same, but what the pressing does is that it gives it a kind of a simulated aging process. So let's light up and see how these go. As we're lighting up on this, the Nick hit on this is probably about a moderate.
Yeah, it was a little heavy, and I haven't had my morning smoke yet either. So
Okay.
so when I did this, I was like, whoa, okay. Ooh.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So to me, it's a different tobacco.
Yeah, all together.
Yeah, it's totally different. To me, some of the Virginias are coming out a little bit more.
A lot more.
And also some of the Orientals are coming out a little bit more. So there's a little bit of that tangy mustiness, a little bit from the Orientals, and then also some of the grassy, light sweetness from the Virginias that are coming out. The Latakia, to me, actually has been a little subdued.
Mm-hmm. Like it took a back seat.
Interesting. So what are your thoughts?
This one smokes smoother. I don't know how else to put it aside from I don't get that edginess. I get the same flavors, but I get it without the bite.
That's what I was going to say too. The flavors are very comparable to what
They
the
still taste good, but this time I get it without the sting that I had in blend before.
Yeah.
And I think part of the sting because of the blend before is because it was really dry, or it was a little, broken apart too much, and it smoked way too fast, and there was some heat coming with the sting, maybe. I don't get that on this one. It's nice.
That's really, really interesting. This smokes more like a medium-bodied English now than it did like a full-bodied English with the bulk blend. But all those same flavors are there. I think the Turkishes have been enhanced a little bit.
Yeah.
Those Orientals have been enhanced a little bit, and ever so slightly the Virginias come out a little bit more. But see, I just got a waft of your smoke. The room note is better.
Yeah, and I was gonna say the taste. I get more of the dark fruit, that woodsy kind of taste instead of the smokiness. I get more of that, the darker, deeper elements of the smoke before, more present. I still get the other flavors, and I get all of that stuff.
You know,
It's not as bitey, and I really enjoy this.
Did you notice the moisture content was a little higher?
Yeah.
We didn't do anything.
We didn't add moisture.
Yeah. Basically, pressing those tobaccos together squeezed out all the left moisture that was in there and kind of helped them bind together a little bit.
Yeah.
So that part of it was interesting. I do like the flavor better. The tin note
too.
on this, if you take a whiff of the tin note, I get orange in there. I see the Virginias come out more in that.
Yeah. Yeah, this almost went from this really almost went from a Balkan to almost a Virginia style, because it smells much more citrusy, much more, woodsy and grassy coming forward, and then you still get the flavors. Good Oriental, some Latakias. It's just like they took a back seat, and they're not as bitey. Everything is. Just
I don't want anybody to think though that this is a Virginia forward, because it's not.
It's not.
It's very much still a Latakia forward blend.
Yeah.
But we've just, through the pressing, we've kind of backed off that smokiness of the Latakia and brought out a little bit more of the flavors of the other two tobaccos that were in here. That's really interesting. Of course, the nicotine content's probably going to be the same.
Yeah, it's roughly the same.
But the tin note is a little lighter. The flavors are the same without the buzz.
Yeah.
And the Latakias have backed off. It's really interesting how that has played.
Just pressing
played out.
it, yeah.
What else? You got anything else you want to add about the comparisons?
Well,
notice that I have to light more.
I do too.
Because it's more moist.
Yeah. That's the thing that's baffling me right now, is that there's more moisture in the same tobacco. All we did was we just forced it to be pressed together. And man, it's just, I have to light it a bit more. It doesn't smoke as fast either.
Yeah, it's dense.
A lot more dense.
Yeah.
I get a much better draw than I did the other one. The other one, I felt like if I was going to take a good puff of the pipe, I lost about a quarter inch of the bowl just with one smoke.
Yeah.
But this one, I feel like it's just taking it step increments.
So, are we in agreement that the pressing improved the characteristic of that bulk blend?
I think so. And I think it improved it, not changed it. That's my main thing. I think because it didn't change the nature of the tobacco. It didn't change the taste of the primary tobacco. It just took away, to me, some of the bad elements. Now, having said that, this last year, I've been slowly transitioning to cakes, flakes, and coins. Way more than I did ribbon.
Yeah.
Last year, it was all about ribbon. This year, for some reason, I'm really enjoying all those cake-style tobaccos, flakes, and that's pretty much all I'm buying.
I can't guarantee that pressing is going to improve every blend because, of course, we may have tried, a dozen different blends that we've pressed.
Yeah, and they didn't work out that well.
Maybe of the 12 that we have, about 8 of them have improved.
Yes.
Some of them, especially some Englishes that I pressed, got a little spicier.
Yeah, they got a little harsh.
And I didn't necessarily care for that, and I've left those alone, and I'm going to come back to them again and see if maybe the resting,
Some age,
the resting kind of helps that. But this one in particular has improved in my opinion.
Mine too. I think for this particular blend, because I didn't hate the original blend before. I didn't hate it in its bulk form.
But it was not my favorite.
No, I would, but it was one of those ones that I was going to go, okay, it's nice. It wasn't a bad purchase. I'll smoke the rest of the bowl, but I'm probably not going to buy another bag again.
Yeah,
now I might just to press it.
This is a popular blend, and a lot of people like it. Let me give you a little background. We talked about that it was made by the Scandinavian Tobacco Group. Peter Stokkebye, which is also owned by Scandinavian Tobacco Group, used to make a Balkan Supreme. And there's a lot of questions out there whether the Arango Balkan Supreme is the same as the old Peter Stokkebye Balkan Supreme. And my answer to that is, because I've smoked both, my answer to that is I can't guarantee it's exactly the same, but I can't taste a whole lot of difference between the two. So to me, yes, they are the same. They are the same. Whether the recipe is exactly the same or not, I wouldn't be able to tell you. But to me, if you liked Peter Stokkebye Balkan Supreme, you will like Arango Balkan Supreme. This blend was actually named as the best English blend in the Chicago Pipe Show in 2014.
Really?
Yeah. Someone considered this as a lat bomb. Like we said, it did have some rough edges.
Yeah.
I feel like the pressing has
Mellowed out.
has made that better. Burns cool and clean, doesn't bite. It's pretty consistent.
I think so too.
All the way through. You get the same flavors as you go all the way through. Doesn't leave any moisture in the bowl. To me, it's not an all-day smoke. It's pretty heavy.
No, it's very heavy, and it was a rough one to start with in the morning because when I first lit up the Balkan, I was like, oh gosh, I should have had something a little lighter this morning.
Well, yeah, and if you buy it in bulk and don't press it, to me it does need time to sit in a jar.
Yeah,
just kind of,
I think so too.
Kind of meld. It's been compared to a lot of Dunhill blends.
Really?
Yeah, this one has. There you go. I got ours at smokingpipes.com. It's a bulk blend, and it was relatively inexpensive. It was like under $3 an ounce.
That's not bad.
So yeah, it's really an affordable thing, and especially if you take the time to press it.
Yeah.
And do that, you're going to come up with a pretty solid Balkan blend. So anyway.
I like it the way it is when it's pressed. I mean, I
liked it this way too, but like I said, it wasn't my favorite.
Oh, and see, I was never a big Balkan friend. I just didn't really get on the Balkan train when I first started smoking, and I still haven't been able to get on the Balkan train.
You need to try some of the
I can
ones
smoke a good English.
You need to try like that plum pudding special reserve and stuff like that I smoked. I think it'll change your mind about Balkans.
Yeah.
But all right, so if you had to get, we're not going to rate these.
Yeah, because
it's the same tobacco, and we agree that the pressed is a little bit better than the bulk. What would you have given the bulk blend?
The bulk blend?
Yeah.
I would have given it a 3. Right there in the middle. I would have said it's a really good smoke. I could see myself buying a bag, not being disappointed with buying the bag and smoking it.
Okay.
3.5 would have been I'll buy it again. 4 would have been like, I'm buying this because I enjoy this and there's always going to be a jar of it on my shelf. This one I'm going to leave it a 3. Just because I don't think I would have bought it again. But I'm not a Balkan fan.
Yeah. Well, I am a Balkan fan, and I would have given this a 3 also.
Okay.
To me, it's right in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
It's a solid tobacco, but to me, it's a little too harsh, a little rough, and there's just nothing about it that's impressing me. That's making me go wow.
Well, and that's the other thing. We've tried some other Balkans that we love.
Yeah.
You have like 3 or 4 other Balkans that these are the thing, man.
Yeah. Well,
So-
and that's for me. Everyone has their own individual tastes.
Yeah.
So, it depends on what you're looking for. I don't like the sharpness.
That's what
Of
I don't
this.
like. I don't like the bitey sharpness of the Balkan Supreme.
I want my Balkan to be a little more smooth, a little more mellow, a little more creamy.
Kind of an after dinner smoke.
And maybe even a slight touch of sweetness to it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I go for. Now, so I'm with you. I would have given this a solid 3.
All right.
How much did it improve? I think I would give this a 3.5.
I think that's how much I would improve it up to as well. Yeah, I would give it up to a 3.5. The only thing that keeps me from going 3.5 would be I would have to buy the Balkan Supreme and then give it a week or 2 weeks to press it and do all that stuff and get all that tobacco to that point. Which, yes, the caked form of it, 3.5. But the work I have to put into making the caked form of it to get it to a 3.5, I would much rather pay $5 an ounce and have somebody already do it for me.
I don't know. That's to me. I don't know. I have to disagree because to me the price point on this is a good one,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna take that extra 2 or 3 weeks to do it. If this was going to be my smoke, if I tasted this and thought, "Wow, this is a really good Balkan," a 4 for me. Let's see what it does when I press it. I would definitely. And so for those of you guys out there that already have Balkan Supreme in your rotation, take the time to press it and see the difference. It really is significant. Even though my rating only is a 0.5 difference.
Yeah,
that's because of the flavors that already are contained in that tobacco. If I would have thought this was a 4, this probably would have ended up as a 4.5.
Yeah.
You talk about 4.5, man, you're getting into the stellar.
And that's the difference between us. Our ratings when it goes up a half a point means all the difference. Me alone, a 3 was like, that's a good smoke. I'm not disappointed in purchasing it. 3.5 is, I'm probably going to buy it again. Just that alone, that half a point to me means that product is getting purchased more often.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you knew this, but do you know that this episode today is our 100th episode? So thank you guys for supporting us, and thank you for giving us all your feedback, comments, and suggestions, because it's gotten us through to 100 episodes. Hopefully we'll have 100 more after this, So far, things have been going pretty good. So
Yeah.
really cool.
That's really cool.
All right. So anything else you want to add about this?
Really
Our
enjoying the
experiment
cake.
was a success, in my opinion.
I think so too. I'm enjoying the cake.
Yeah, you all need to get out there. Amazon sells the noodle presses for like $14-15.
Yeah.
That's really reasonable.
Yeah.
And I've had no problems with it. I've had it for maybe 2 years now, and been using it. Right now, I got our Frankenblend.
Yeah, I've got my own at home, and I don't know what to do
Well, I'm
with
pressing it now, so it's going to be interesting as to how that comes out. Because the Frankenblend always scares you when you smoke it. You're like, I don't know. Basically, our Frankenblend is when there's only little bits left over of stuff that you can't really fill a bowl with.
Yeah.
I dump it in the Frankenblend.
Yeah.
Or if it was a blend that was just god-awful, but I'm too cheap to throw it away, I dump it in the Frankenblend.
I've only had one blend that I've been like, I don't care. I'm getting rid of this.
So
It was some drugstore menthol blend that I was like, oh, let's try it.
we'll see how that works
Oh
out.
man,
All right. Well, if that's it, then
that's it for me.
Thanks, guys. We do appreciate you. Keep watching. Keep sending us your comments and suggestions. And don't forget,
Make all your piping moments count.
we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching, and have a great week.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.